Australians remain stranded overseas. When can we see Victoria start to take arrivals back in?
It's too early for us to say, but we will resume flights coming to Melbourne, and we will have arrangements in place that are as safe as they possibly can be to facilitate that. But at this stage, our focus needs to be elsewhere, and I apologise for any challenges, any difficulties that poses for people who have to return via other states, but there's no alternative. We need to be focused on really one thing and one thing only, and that's getting these numbers as low as we possibly can, and there will be a time for those flights to resume.
Do you expect that to occur before Christmas?
Look, to be honest, I don't. No decision has been made. I think that's likely. But the other point to make here as well is we've got a process going on at the moment to give us findings, to give us advice, and we would want the benefit of that before we put any final model in place as well.
Given that Melbourne took the lion's share of people prior to this second wave, should the other states be lifting their caps to allow more Victorians to return?
Well, just for the purposes of accuracy, we took more than 20,000 people. I think that number would be exceeded by Sydney, so I wouldn't want to rob Sydney of their claim to have processed more than we did. I think they did at the time, and of course that number's grown very, very steadily since we stopped flights coming back here. Look, there are different states are in different places. There are flight patterns, where planes land. That's always been probably the biggest determinant of how many return travellers came into each city. And cities are different beyond that as well too. For instance, there's been many more cruise ships going to New South Wales, going to Sydney, because that's a much bigger feature of their market, if you like. So I'm not here today to comment on what other states are doing. All I can say is, from our point of view, we've made many requests of other states, and they've always delivered, and we're very, very grateful to them.
A lot of people expressing their displeasure with you and what you've been doing over the past few months is a Give Dan the Boot campaign, including photos of boots out in front of, I think it's your old farm where your father's funeral was. Is that stepping over the line, do you think?
Oh, look, Lundy, I'd say that we're at our best and our strongest as a state when we come together, when we look out for each other. I think it's equally true to say that we're at our worst and our weakest when this nastiness, this divisiveness comes into the challenges that we face. I saw that photo. That photo was sent to me by someone. That's not the front gate to that farm. I know that farm well. That had been positioned, those boots had been positioned not at the front gate, but at a different gate to make a point. I'm happy for people to make their points, provided they're not doing anything to spread the coronavirus. But I'll just say this. Having different views, to me, that's fine. It's a healthy part of our democratic society. But decency matters too. The last time I was in that shed was when I carried my father's coffin out of it. And I think that is... I won't use the words that my father would use to describe that sort of act. That's just low, and has no place. No place. Have a different view to me, but leave my family out of it, particularly the dead members of my family out of it. I don't think that's too much to ask. Shame on him. Shame.